Hey guys, welcome to Distance Learning, Week 7, video number 3, Battles of the Civil War. Hope you guys are healthy, as same as your family. Try to stay that way. Okay guys, last time, on the last video, we ended up looking at the Battle of Antietam. Now, uh, remember this is the first time that the Confederate Army and General Lee try to take the war to the north. Okay, as we said on last video, this is the bloodiest day on the Civil War, and just because of time, but there's something I would like to mention that helped the Union stop Lee and the Confederate Army here at Antietam. Now, um, there is a factor that's kind of weird, okay, because Lee had all his plans written down and had a few copies of them to send to his generals and his armies. Okay. The thing is, in this battle, somehow, his man loses one of the copies from his plans, and fortunately, some of the Union troops find these papers that were actually wrapped on cigars. So how did they find out to unwrap that cigar and that they will find Lee's um, plans for the Antietam battle? Kind of fishy, but the official reason says that the Confederates lost these papers, the Union found them, and they were able to intercept Lee and his army here in Antietam. Uh, Sounds pretty fishy. Uh, I'm willing to say that they're probably a spy, more likely than. But it's nothing is official. The official is that the Confederates lost these papers, the Union found them. Remember that this battle, even though it seemed like it was a draw, Lee actually loses a lot of support from England and morality as well. Okay, then we have Gettysburg. Okay, Gettysburg, it's the second time that Lee tries to invade the North. Okay, uh, here on Gettysburg, Lee has everything planned out. He wanted to send people. Well, he actually did. He sent people to explore the territory, bring him back with some knowledge of the terrain where the troops were, and he had everything planned out. Well, it didn't went his way. First, the guys that he sent to get the knowledge of the terrain and the Union troops' location didn't make it on time to come back. They didn't come back enough in time. He had to go. So Lee started walking into Gettysburg without really knowing either the terrain very well or where the Union troops were. Not according to his plan. So nothing was going according to his plan. Therefore, in Gettysburg, on July 1 to the 3rd on 1863, the tide of the war turns against the South when Lee and his army were surprised at Gettysburg because he didn't have the knowledge of the terrain and everything else. He didn't have the intelligentsia to help him out. 50,000 casualties occurred during the 3-day battle, and of course, the Union won and Lee had to retreat. Now look at the date, guys, from July 1 to July 3rd. Okay, remember 4th of July, Day of Independence. So we're one day before independence happens, before independence takes place. And this is what happens in Gettysburg. Okay, now this battle is so important that President Lincoln delivers a 2-minute Gettysburg address at a ceremony dedicating this battlefield as a national cemetery. You could actually still go, guys, um, and see this battlefield, this national cemetery. Okay, here's a Lincoln speech in his write and on his handwriting. Okay, now let's talk about this Vicksburg battle. But it's not just a battle, it was actually a siege. A siege is when you surround people, okay, and you don't let them go in or go out. Okay, it's like the blockade. Remember that the U.S. did on the with the Confederates, where this is almost the same, but it's called a siege. You do it to a city, you do it to a fort. Okay, you just go around them. Nothing comes in, nothing comes out until they decide to surrender. So Vicksburg began on May 22nd and ended up on July 4th. July 4th. Okay, remember, guys, here Gettysburg ended on July 3rd. That meant that the next day, July 4th, on Vicksburg, when they found out that Lee had lost the battle, okay, at Gettysburg, the turning point, that's why Gettysburg is called the turning point, because when they found out here in Vicksburg that Lee lost at Gettysburg, they surrender, okay? So the last Confederate stronghold on the Mississippi River, okay, surrenders to General Grant and the Army of the West after a 6-week siege. Okay, it's a lot of time. With the Union now in control of the Mississippi, the Confederacy is effectively split in two, cutting off Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas from the rest of the Confederacy. Okay, we can see it right here. This is the river. Here's Vicksburg. Here's where the battle happened, and now we have Confederate troops over here, Confederate troops over here, but they're divided by the river, and now Vicksburg, it's on Union hands. Okay, very important. Okay, this is pretty much considered. It could be considered, the end of the struggle. After this, another few battles take place. Okay, but at the end, it doesn't take too much time. And on April 9, 1865, the Confederate troops and Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Ulysses Grant and the Union. Okay, this takes place in Virginia, in the village, okay, of Appomattox under courthouse. Here we can see that the Union, okay, it's on higher grounds. You can see that the Confederacy is in lower grounds, so they have the disadvantage. Okay, they didn't have a chance either way. At this point, General Lee surrenders, and the Civil War is over. Okay, General Grant and General Lee fought, maybe not side by side, but they fought together in the Mexican American War. So they kind of knew each other in that sense. Uh, when General Lee surrendered, General Grant was very nice to him. They even shook hands and everything. General Lee asked for General Ulysses Grant not to take any prisoners, and Ulysses Grant said, "Okay, I won't take any prisoners." That's pretty cool. Also, all the horses they let them keep, and if any of the Confederate Army soldiers had their own side gun, they could keep it. I mean, that's a lot of treats. After you lose, let you keep your handgun. But Robert E. Lee and Ulysses Grant check on these terms that they're gonna surrender. When the letter gets to the President of the Confederacy States of America, Jefferson Davis, when this gets to him, of course, he has nothing else to do. He can't do nothing else. He accepts the surrender, and the Civil War was over. Okay, guys, make sure to go into your Google form, finish those questions, and keep safe. Hope to see you soon, and take care.